for packing and unpacking. You got the two pieces here, your top and your bottom. Just like a lot of the other stands, the bottom just fits right into the top. Now, again, it doesn't fit as smoothly together as some of the other stands, but it seems that Summit knows that, and so they provide you this little green bungee thing, which you then just take and wrap around this thing, which basically replaces the bungee cord that you have on your seat, which would do the same purpose on an older Summit stand, so that keeps that nice and tight. And then they also give you a green strap that there's like a buckle, but I don't like to use that because one, it takes too much time, and two, it's hard to keep tight, so I just get a bungee cord that actually fits nicely, and I put that together this way as soon as I get the stick out of the way. And it just comes down here, locks together, and what that does is keeps this top part from kind of rattling when you're walking. I've made some long treks with this thing, and it's perfectly quiet. One of the things that I did do, which is there's a nice feature, is that these pads are zipper based rather than zip tie based. So one of the things that I did in order to make it a little less loud was I took the zipper. When it came on this tree stand, it was down on this end, so I just unzipped it, flipped it around, and put it up here so that the zipper wouldn't flip around and hit the actual bottom stand. But then I just took a piece of duct tape and duct taped that zipper down completely so that it wouldn't flip and make any noise. Now, putting this on the tree again works just like any other Summit stand. If you haven't used them before, though, it's just got these little knots right here, and it just slides right in here, and I always get my thumb down on here, and it just slides in like that and locks in. So to put it on the tree, I always like to get it stuck on the tree like that, because then it makes it easier for me to grab it on the other side. And then you come over here and you lock it into the length that you want so that you have a decent angle for climbing. But again, works pretty much just like any other Summit stand if you ever had one. The climbing with this tree stand works the same as any other one. The only thing that is really nice about this is the seat is much more quiet and much more out of the way easier to climb with, because you don't have to worry about strapping the bungees around anything or all that type of stuff. But other than that, the climbing is just like any other Summit stand. I don't actually ever sit on the bar. I always get on my haunches because I can get up the tree faster that way. But for the most part, it climbs just like any other one, and no complaints there. Now that you're up in the tree, you're going to want to get your top of the tree stand in a comfortable spot so that when you're sitting, you're not going to have the front of this digging into your legs the whole time. But with the Sling seat, it's a little different because you don't have any adjustments on there, so it takes a little longer to get set in. But typically I like to get it to the point where when I sit on the bar, that Sling seat's hitting just about the top of my knees. But obviously the best way to do it is just get to the point where you sit. I'm about 6'4", just to keep that in mind. And as you can see, when I'm sitting up here, you don't quite have as much space as some of the older versions. So when you finally get into a comfortable sitting position, I like to keep the stand so that my knees are pretty close to the bar, because then when I stand up, it gets up out of my way. I don't have to worry about any of this stuff. But that way when I'm shooting, I used to have a problem with shooting. The bow would hit on the stand, but as you can see, it's nowhere near that. The other thing I like about the Sling seat is you can sit down in this stand, and you can draw sitting down because you're sitting up high enough. You got no problem. You got good clearance all the way through here. So if you like to sit and shoot, it's a good stand for you. If you like to stand and shoot, it's also nice because the seat just slides right out of your way, and it gives you more room up here. But overall, it's extremely comfortable. I've had it for about 2 weeks now, and I've sat in it for probably more than 24 hours, and it's extremely comfortable. So overall, it's a very lightweight, portable stand. I like it a lot. Had a couple things with the zippers that made a little bit of noise. It was a nice feature, but it made a little bit of noise, but nothing a little duct tape can't fix. The sling seat is really nice. It's actually removable, which is one of the things that I was worried about the most with this stand. So if you're upgrading like I did, there's a little buckle down here, and it just unbuckles just like the seats from the older versions of the stand are. So if you don't like this seat for whatever reason, you have an old Summit Viper seat sitting around, you can always take that sling seat off, but I actually like the sling seat. And then the one major knock that I have on it, which is still nitpicking at this point, is occasionally when I get into a tree and I'm sitting there and I move just the slightest amount, it squeaks up against a tree. I noticed that the older Summit Vipers do that too, but I don't know if it's this paint that they have on here, and once this gets worn in down here, it'll stop doing that. But that's the only thing that really drives me crazy occasionally, is when I get into a real squeaky tree.